The oldest trophy in the history of international sport, older than the Olympics, older than the World Cup, older than the Stanley Cup. It was born in 1851, a silver cup, a race around an island off the coast of England, and an American boat that crossed the finish line so far ahead of the British fleet that Queen Victoria herself asked who was in second place. The answer became legendary. Your Majesty, there is no second. That trophy is coming to Italy, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right now. The oldest trophy in the history of international sport, older than the Olympics, older than the World Cup, older than the Stanley Cup. It was born in 1851. A silver cup, a race around an island off the coast of England, and an American boat that crossed the finish line so far ahead of the British fleet that Queen Victoria herself asked who was in second place. The answer became legendary. Your Majesty, there is no second. That trophy is coming to Italy, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right now. My name is Simona Cochi. I'm an Italian journalist, a specialist in Italian cultural heritage, and the producer of this channel. I cover art, design, fashion, architecture, and the extraordinary creative identity of Italy from the inside. I've been documenting Italian excellence for international audiences for many years. And today I want to talk about something that is not design or fashion in the traditional sense, but is in very essential way one of the greatest expressions of Italian ambition, craftsmanship, and national identity that exists in the world of sport. I want to talk to you about the American Cup, and specifically I want to tell you why what is happening right now in the spring and summer 2026 matters enormously for what will happen in Naples, Italy, in July 2027. Because this is not just a sailing race, this is a story about legacy, about technology, about an Italian team that has been chasing the oldest trophy in international sport for over 2 decades. And about a moment in history when Italy, for the very first time, we lost the American Cup on home water. Let me give you the full picture. Italy has been chasing the American Cup for over 40 years. From Azzurra in 1983, the first Italian challenger in history, to Luna Rossa reaching the final in 2000, 2007 and 2021 and winning the Youth and Women's Cup in 2024. Now Italy is the host country, Naples is the host city, and the match begins on July 10, 2027. As an Italian journalist who follows the cultural identity of this country, I can tell you this is not just a sport, this is heritage, and this is history of the making. Now, I want to explain the Italian relationship with this trophy, because for Americans it may be surprising to understand just how deep and emotional this connection is. Italy's history in the American Cup begins in 1983. A boat called Azzurra, representing the yacht club Costa Smeralda in Sardinia, became the first Italian challenger in the history of the competition. It was a cultural event as much as a sporting one. Millions of Italians followed every race. A country that had never seriously competed in offshore sailing suddenly found its national identity reflected in a silver trophy that an American boat had won in the waters off England more than a century before. Then came Il Moro di Venezia in 1992, then Mascalzone Latino, and then in 2000 Luna Rossa. I want to talk about the single most dramatic development in the current American Cup cycle because, as a journalist who follows international competitive excellence, this is the move that has changed the entire narrative of the 2027 campaign. Peter Burling. If you follow sailing, you know his name. If you do not, let me tell you what this man has accomplished. 3 Olympic medals, 6 World Championships in the 14 irons class, and 3 consecutive American Cup victories as helmsman with Emirates Team New Zealand in 2007, in 2021, and 2024. He is, by an objective measure, the most successful American Cup sailor of the modern era. He is the person who has stood at the wheel of a winning boat 3 times in a row in the most technically demanding and tactically complex sailing competition that exists. And in June 2025, he left Team New Zealand and joined Rossa. Alongside Burling, Rossa has confirmed as a sailing team that includes Italian Olympic gold medalist Ruggero Tita, a young Italian talent Marco Gradoni, who won the Youth American Cup in Barcelona in 2024, and Margherita Porro, who won the Women's American Cup in Barcelona in 2024. This is a team of champions across generations. This is a team built to win. He won the American Cup 3 times with New Zealand, 3 times. Naples, the capital of the Campania region in southern Italy, a city of 3 million people, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the most ancient cities in Europe, founded by the Greeks in the 8th century before Christ. A city where every street corner is a layer of history, where the food is extraordinary, the energy is like nowhere else in the world. And sitting above the bay, watching over everything, Mount Vesuvius. The American Cup official website describes the Bay of Naples as a venue that, from a yachting perspective, borders on perfection. The race course will be close to shore, which means that spectators on the waterfront will be able to watch the AC-75 boats, these extraordinary flying machines that travels at speeds of over 50 miles per hour above the water on a carbon fiber hydrofoils, just meters away from where they are standing. This happened before in Naples in 2012 and 2013. The American Cup World Series event held in the Bay of Naples attract an estimated 1 million spectators all over the course of a single week. 1 million people standing on a waterfront watching sailing boats fly past at racing speed. That is the scale of what is coming in 2027. Naples was also named European Capital of Sport in 2026. The city is ready, the infrastructure is being prepared, and the Italian government, from the President of the Council of Ministers to the Minister of Sport, has publicly committed to making this event a showcase for the entire nation. The American Cup match begins on July 10th, 2027. Mark that date.